of all, we gotta hide it from the kid cuckoo. Mrs. Robinson, Jesus loved you more than you well know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven hold the faith for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Sitting on the sofa in the Sunday afternoon, going to the candidates to big yell. Laugh about it, shout about it when you got to choose. Everywhere you look at you lose. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? A nation turned his lonely eyes to you. Ooh, what's that you say, Mrs. Robinson? Joe had left and gone away. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Find a door, so if you got to go, it's alright. But if you got to go, go now, or else you're gonna stay all night.
In the waterfall through our awesome Viking prowess and large muscles.
But not only is it difficult enough to go straight up a waterfall like the Niagara Falls, halfway up, out popped a sea dragon's head.
You hate it when that happens, right? You know, Canada's not taking care of the waters nowadays. You get sea dragons coming down all the time.
It's just polluting our lakes, you know?
Yeah, and
the sea
really,
dragons.
why would you do that to us?
I know.
And so obviously we feel like, as adventurers, it's our job. I mean,
To clear the seas of these hideous, horrible sea monsters. Yeah. So, as it popped out on my side of the boat, Keith, with a swift eye, uncloaked his dagger, and he sliced one fell swoop down its right side of the neck. It was amazing.
The dragon came crashing down to the ocean, and just a huge wave overtook our boat. And Brandon, luckily, was able to rock the boat to the side to go with the wave, and it carried us partway up the waterfall.
Yeah.
We were able to gain momentum from the crash of the dragon.
And then it was only a few more strokes right to the top of that monumental, amazing waterfall. So, that's that story.
That's that story.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Where did you get these little gold and crimson beads?
Oh, I'm so glad.
I'm so glad.
Well, you see, for this specific event, being Christmas and all, we had to make a stop at the North Pole, right? See our good buddy Saint Nick.
You know, he gets busy this time of year, so we just want to make sure he didn't need anything.
Yeah, make sure he's
on.
not in any trouble, because everybody knows of the elves in the North Pole, but not many people hear of the bridge trolls.
Do you know what the net worth of Santa Claus is? It's crazy. Like, he has more money than, like, Bill Gates.
It's the truth.
It's crazy. So, you know, he's in high demand. And when we got there, we saw a note on the workshop door that said, out for the season. And we're like,
This isn't like St. Nick.
it's not like St. Nick. I mean, this is the season that he works.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense.
Us being from the north, he comes and hangs out with the Vikings all the time. I don't know if you guys know that, but he is actually one of the founding fathers of the Viking nation.
So we got there, and this note, obviously not written by Santa, not by elves. There's no cursive writing on there, right? There's no like little like flashes and flares in the
Yeah.
in the handwriting. So we're like, well, this is obviously.
It looked like someone scribbled like a 2-year-old and said, "Out for the season." That doesn't sound like Santa Claus. But it sounded suspiciously like the trolls.
Suspiciously like the trolls. So we went out to find these horrible rock trolls
Mhm.
and just, question them, not interrogate or anything. Just want to let them know, like, hey, have you seen our good buddy St. Nick? Like,
Mhm.
what's looking for him? And we found like a trail of jingle bells as we were
Jingle
getting
bells.
into the troll layers. And we were like, okay, it's starting to look kind of
Yeah.
fishy,
I don't know about this.
right? So we go in there and the head troll comes up to us and it's all like, Vikings, I thought we had an agreement not to be talking to one another because trolls like to fight Vikings. It's just a known fact.
His name is Blorgala, by the way. He's not a very nice guy. Horrible breath. Giant booger face thing.
Right.
Yeah, that was just so gross. Have you guys ever seen Ernest Scared Stupid? It looks a lot like those guys. Just so you know. Just like, hey, you see that? That's a great movie. But anyway,
Yeah. So,
so
Blorgelslag
Yeah.
is all up in our grill being like, well, you guys just need to leave. You guys need to get out of here. And we're like, well, we just got a couple questions. We can poke around the troll holes for
Yeah.
a while. Just tunnels and whatnot.
and
see
then
what's going on.
right when he was about to try and push us out, we hear ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling. And we're like, is that Prancer? Is that
Got it.
Dancer? Is that Donner? Is that Vixen? Is that Comet Cupid? And then, before you knew it, we knocked the troll over with our giant battle axes, and we stormed through the gates into the Troll Kingdom lair.
And we saw all of the reindeer
Mm-hmm.
and Santa Claus running around in this pit with trolls chasing them, like
Aw.
trying to stab them, and we're like, okay, no, we can't be having any of this, right? So
No, that-
obviously we jump into the arena with our
Yes.
battle axes, even
But-
to fight a little bit.
Little did we know, it was a trap just for us. All the trolls came around in this arena-style combat, and they released the Cerberus. I don't know how they got it. They must be working with Hades or something.
Yeah, something like that. But with those 3 heads of the Cerberus,
Mhm.
it can't pay attention to both of us at the same time. It's like trying to pull itself in different directions.
Exactly.
And we can work flawlessly without even communicating,
Mhm.
bouncing off each other.
Yes.
So we just decided to start circling the Cerberus and just
Yes.
make it really confused.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know if I want to bite to the left or bite to the right. I'm really confused. And then Rudolph comes in.
Yeah. Gotta love Rudolph.
Right? And he just starts like shining his light around, and the third head of Cerberus is just like, well, now I'm blind. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Right? So the Cerberus is just like, I don't know.
We used that opportunity with Rudolph's flash of bright light to counterattack. And that's when I threw Keith my grappling hook. We wrapped it around Cerberus's legs, and he fell over to the side, landing on the side of the troll pit thing, so it crushed it. And we were able to jump up over the Cerberus and head to where the Troll King was sitting.
Right. So we made it out of the pit, and we got out of the trap, and we demanded that they release Santa Claus and all the reindeer because Christmas needs to happen this year.
But of course, Blorgeslag did not want to let him go. So we disposed of him.
It had to be done. It had to be done.
It had to be done.
Yeah.
And now there's no more Blorgeslag.
No more blood.
But his son, little Blorgeslag, has taken place, and we become we've arranged a diplomatic agreement with him.
We don't want to fight when we don't have to.
Yes, exactly.
We're not angry violent.
We're not animals.
Yeah.
We're Vikings.
So we escort Santa and all of the reindeer back to the North Pole, and it becomes that magical time of year where reindeer must go through their reincarnation cycle.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
reindeer are like phoenixes.
At least Santa's reindeer.
At least Santa's.
These are magical reindeers
Hey,
of the North.
they got to keep themselves fresh. I mean, they got
Exactly.
lots of journeys. So Rudolph is like, I burned up all my energy using the bright light against the Cerberus, and just is like, hey, it's over. I'm gonna reincarnate now,
Yeah.
and explode
It's
in
the
a
most
massive
beautiful thing you've
explosion
ever
of fire
seen.
and holiday
It's like
cheer.
Disneyland fireworks times 1,000.
And it's just like all Christmas colors, and it's just like, wow, it's awesome, right? And the byproduct of these explosions, there's a small pile of small sparkling reindeer that you find on your table. And the baby Rudolph just comes popping out of the ashes, and it's just like,
So, as a reward, Santa granted us some of the leftover crystals, and we brought them here because there's no one else we'd rather share them with than you guys. It was a beautiful story.
Okay, what about those trees? Where do you find those?
Trees.
Well, before we could come for the wintertime, we decided that we needed to take a trip home to Scandinavia to visit the homeland of the Vikings for Christmas time. It's very, very cold this time of year. So we decided, okay, we're gonna go and we're just gonna go home, and they have the great Christmas trees there. We're just gonna cut a couple down and bring them back with us. When we got there weren't any real trees left.
No.
And
it's like Charlie Brown with all those aluminum trees everywhere.
It's like, how do we go about getting a tree if there are none left to cut down?
That's when we went to see the ice wizard Morglab. the icy.
Morglab the Icy.
Yes.
And
the first.
Morglab said they had a horrible winter. And it's been rough, and
Yeah.
trees have been dropping left and right.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, we had to burn them all for firewood, and we don't have any trees left.
But luckily, Morglab is also an avid sculptor, and we told him about needing the most magnificent trees in the land, and he said to us, I can make these trees for you, but you must do a quest. And this is where the journey really begins.
He said, I need the light to put inside of these trees to make them bright, and the only thing that we can get that will be bright enough is if we harness dragon fire. It's the only way to get it done.
And he said the only thing powerful enough to harvest dragon fire and contain it is the ice from the snow behemoth that lives 20,000 feet underneath my castle.
He does this a lot, so it's just like, hey, dumb adventurers, go get my ice crystals.
Well, that's also where Morglab, gets some of his power from, because he has snow behemoths under him.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows snow behemoths have massive amounts of ice power.
Yeah. So we thought, okay, well, we got to go get the ice to harness the fire. So we're just gonna have to go down there with like pickaxes and just pick off pieces of ice from the behemoth, and it'll be cool.
Yes.
And we tried to be friendly about it.
Yeah.
We really did.
Yo, behemoth, how about letting us score some of that sweet ice?
Just a couple. Ain't no thing. They regenerate. Right?
Yeah.
It's cool. He was not having that.
Yeah, he wanted to play checkers. And whoever won, because he gets lonely down there, and he just wanted us to play some checkers with him, but he's not a good loser.
He's
and
not
we know
a good
that.
loser.
So, we had to play our cards right, and our checkers right, and right when Keith was about to win,
Me.
yes, he had to spin the board around and make it look like the behemoth isn't very smart. So the behemoth
It's very
thought,
large. You can't see the board.
So after spinning the board around, the behemoth gets happy because he thought he won. He didn't really. And he gave us all the ice things we needed, but now we had to go find the dragon.
We had to find the
which
dragon.
is a much harder task.
Much harder task. So we had to go to Romania, because Romania is where they have the best dragons.
Yes,
It's simply true.
Everybody's watched Harry Potter, right? The
Right.
Romanian dragons?
Yeah, Romanian dragons.
You know.
It's a known fact. It's documented. And so we went there, and I'm good friends with Ron Weasley. We're both gingers. So it's kind of like I can't tell you about the League of Teachers, but it's a pretty cool place. And he's like, yeah.
Don't get into that again. I'm just kidding. No.
He's like, I hook you up with my brother in Romania. So we're like, all right, well, let's just get some dragon fire. Like I hear they're pretty friendly most of the time when they're not being forced to guard fake eggs.
Yes.
Right.
Well, so luckily Ron's brother knows exactly where to find the icy dragons to get this ice fire that we needed to fill the behemoth crystal with. So we had to go to the highest peak in the world, which is that one in Asia, right? I can't remember all these things. I just go on great adventures. So we go all the way up to the highest peak of the mountain to where the dragon's cave is. And now night for so long have wanted to slay this dragon because of the glory it gives you. So scattered all around the dragon's cave are dead knights, shields, swords, everything. It's just all layered around the cave. And we could just smell the dragon smoke coming from within the cave. And we saw the ice crystals forming on the outside start to melt because of this intense heat that comes from his molten lair.
Luckily, Vikings have this skin that has been toughened by years of adventuring in the snow and the hardships that we've gone through. And so we just decided we're gonna make a distraction, and we're gonna grab all these like dead knight bodies and like stand them up in the corner of the cave and like throw them out in front of him, right? Because then he'll get distracted, and we can put the crystals inside the suits of armor.
Yes.
So when he lights them on fire, boom, harnesses a crystal.
A brilliant strategy. So, after me and Keith gathered as many knight bodies as we needed about 10, and we respected them. We buried them afterwards, of course. but we lined them up at the entrance of the cave, and we put their suits standing up, and we filled them with the crystals so they would stand up straight. Then one of us had to sneak behind, so I went into the inside around the dragon while he was asleep. So Keith could call him out from the outside, and then when needed, I would be able to lure him back on the inside. So Keith from the outside yells,
and I'm like, "Knights, charge! Slay the dragon!" And we run in, well, I run in, and I'm like, "Oh snap, he's really big! Run out!" And the dragon starts chasing me.
And that's when the dragon comes across all of the different knights, and he just lets loose all the fire, which charges the crystals. And then me from the inside I laid a trap with a line of magic powder that we got from the wizard that would ignite and explode underneath the dragon. And we put this powder right out the entrance of the cave, and I lit it from the inside, and I lit it. And as soon as it started to go off, Keith was already down the mountain, and I just jumped down and I just rolled up into a snowball. And as we were rolling down the hill, we heard the explosion, and right there at the entrance of the dragon's cave, it sealed it shut, so it couldn't chase after us. So that dragon is stuck to this day because of our harrowing adventure. And we were able to get the crystals and bring them back to the wizard, who enchanted them and made these wonderful trees. Well, I think that's all we have for tonight. We thank you guys.
More adventures for next year.
Yes.
Spoken word that I was supposed to share at the Halloween party, but then Keith was talking like all of these like bad pirate jokes.
Oh, they're so good.
It's like. Or, whatever, like, I don't, it's like, they were so bad. So I had to come up and I had to share one of my jokes, which I thought it would be more funnier. No?
Yeah, pretty good. Pirates are pretty awesome.
Okay. Well, okay. Why did, okay, here's a pirate joke.
That was good.
Why can't just like little kids watch warm bodies?
Why?
Zombies.
Because they're rated R. Okay. So this is a poem that I wrote a while back. It's called "Gift of Love," and it's kind of split into two parts. One day, I'm asked God, "What is love all about?" I've been asking myself this question, and I've got to find out. While singing songs in church and closing my eyes, God's most precious gift, I suddenly realized, is the shedding of His blood at the cross on Calvary. He was thinking of you and He was thinking of me. I felt God's love piercing my heart like a sword, for I knew that this gift was from Jesus, my Lord. And now I've been thinking, now that is how I want my love to be. Just being there for someone at a time when they need me. Because Jesus was there for me. He loved me and He took my place with His gift of love. and His mercy and grace. One night, as I was looking at the gloomy skies, my prayer was not hallelujah, but why, God, why? Lord, I read of your gift of love and your awesome power, but why did you lead me here into my darkest hour? Through the clouds I heard God speak. I trembled to the ground as my knees went weak. God said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways. So keep looking into the night, and you'll see the morning's rays. Even though you feel anger, I still love you. Remember when I told you I would never leave you? So trust in me, have faith and believe. I am there with you in your time of need. That night I found God's gift of love and His awesome power when I saw Jesus standing by my side at my darkest hour.